Welcome, everybody, to this week's Mark Nofri Head Coaches Show. With Mark Nofri, head coach of the Sacred Heart football team, off to a 1-0 start after the victory at Robert Morris out in Moon Township this week. To start NEC play 1-0, Coach, especially going out on that tough bus ride, probably, definitely your longest of the year. What's it mean to the team to come back 1-0 in conference play?
Well, it was great because, we were coming off a week of a bye, too, and we had lost 2 in a row. And to take that bus trip and be 4 on the road, I talked to the kids about adversity and not being home again until October 17th. And I thought they went out there and they did a great job. I think they've locked in. That week of the bye did us well. Got a chance to get away a little bit and not think about football and kind of get healthy again a little bit, or to get some of the soreness away. And like I said, they went out, they got a first win in the conference, and it was a huge win. Well,
the defense certainly shined. James Rentz stood out, winning NEC Defensive Player of the Week and ECAC Defensive Player of the Week. But overall, the whole squad forced 8 turnovers from 7 different players. Can we hear about the defensive effort of the Sacred Heart Pioneers this past week?
Yeah, we're real happy for James. Like I said, he's one of our guys on our defense, and he stood out again on Saturday, and the kid wrecks havoc and whatever he does, and he plays so hard. And I couldn't be happier for him to get those awards. But overall, defensively, you saw a lot of kids step up. There's a lot of mixing and matching. There's a lot of different packages we use, and Coach Wisman and those guys on defense do a great job rotating kids in and finding roles for kids and knowing their part. And they work really hard at making sure the kids understand what they got to do. But the biggest thing is they do their job, but they're doing it 110 miles an hour. I mean, they're flying around. They play hard. They play physical, and they're going after the ball. And that's what you need on defense. And they got those guys playing real well right now.
I would imagine, considering the injuries that your team has faced and the adversity you've overcome, especially on that side of the ball, it had to be even a little bit more satisfying to have that kind of performance. How do you guys do it every week, making adjustments, facing the adversity you have?
Like I said, we just kind of look at our personnel, at who's healthy and who's not, and kind of find a role for them and put the kids in position to know that they succeed and finding what their strengths are and kind of tailoring the defense to what they do. And like I said, they do a great job of mixing and matching and moving kids around and getting different kids on the field with the packages that they use.
RJ Noel spread it out this week. 7 different receivers, including a 36-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Kroom, something we haven't seen before. So RJ coming back, overcoming his injury, working to get on the field, and then really implementing a different-looking offense really worked out for you guys. How was he able to make those adjustments and show us a few different looks?
Well, like I said, he works real hard with Coach Gardner, our quarterback's coach, and Coach Bowles does a great job, like I said, finding the kids, knowing what their strengths are and putting them in a position to succeed. We knew what RJ's strengths are. We know what he likes. And Coach Bowles, like I said, he puts kids in position to make plays, and then the kids go out and do it. And if they go out and they execute and they do what they're taught and do what they're coached to do all week, you have success on Saturday. And, RJ, again, he's a 3-year starter for us. He does a great job. Like we talked about last week, he's a gym rat. He likes to watch film. He likes to work at it. And with Coach Gardner and him working one-on-one all the time, and Coach Bowles tailoring the offense to find the kids that are healthy and finding out what they can do and taking advantage of their strengths, I mean, it makes it a lot easier. But, like I said, they went out, they executed. The kids are the ones that played the game, and they played real well on Saturday.
One thing you can always control are penalties, and you guys controlled that very well this week. Had to make the head coach very happy. Talk about what it means to play such a clean game and how that helped you.
We talk about it each week. Earlier in this year, a couple of the games that we've had, I talked to him on Saturday about playing against Robert Morris instead of playing the game within ourselves. And, stop trying to, play the game and beat yourselves. Play just the team that we're supposed to play. Cut down on the penalties and the mistakes that we make. Stop turning the ball over. And then, obviously we had the 8 turnovers, which helps as well. But we talk about it all the time. When you cut down on the penalties and you don't hurt yourself, you put yourself in good position to win games. And that's what they did on Saturday. But more importantly, they executed. They came ready to play, and they played for 60 minutes. And that's what I was happy about.
I think it's kind of fitting that finally you're coming back home on homecoming weekend. You have a tough opponent in Cornell. Tell us about your excitement. I imagine these guys have got to be chomping at the bit to finally get back out in front of what should be a great home crowd and take on a tough team in Cornell here at Campus Field.
Yeah, we talked about it before. We haven't been home since September 5th, and that's a long time coming with 4 away games and a bye week in there too. I think everybody's ready to come home and play in front of our home crowd and here on campus, and I know the kids will be ready to go. They're expecting, a pretty big crowd, but Cornell's a very good football team. Their record doesn't show it, but they played some really tough teams so far this year. They had Yale beat there at the end. They played Harvard, which is a top 15 team in the country. Bucknell's, like I said, an outstanding football team, and they went toe for toe with them. So their record doesn't, dictate how good of the football team they are. They have a good quarterback. They got some tight ends that they like to throw to that are very good. They're big up front on defense, and I think they do a great job down there. And I think our kids are going to have to play their butts off and do what we ask them to do and play a good game.
Very good, Coach. Good luck this week. Looking forward to Saturday.
Thank you.
Coach Mark Nofri, as always, joining us on his weekly Head Coaches Show. So they're expecting a sellout. You can get tickets on sacredheartpioneers.com/tickets. If you can't make it, we have the call for you on NEC Front Row. It is Cornell and Sacred Heart on homecoming this Saturday at 1 o'clock.